Yesterday was a hard day for Meta. Its apps were down. They weren't working. I'm talking about Facebook, Instagram, and Threads.
A worldwide outage hit Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp for hours.
Now to the social media giant in the dark for hours. Facebook's 3 billion users unable to access the site for most of the day.
Mark Zuckerberg apologized for the disruption. He said that his teams were working as fast as possible to debug and restore the platform.
This looks like a mistake that came from within Facebook themselves. The question of cybersecurity attacks comes up. I'm reasonably confident that this may have just been an accident.
Many Facebook users didn't like it, at times using its rival Twitter to vent their anger.
Many people use Facebook to log into other apps. They use it to log into their smart home systems, like their smart TVs or even their smart thermostats. So when Facebook went down, people couldn't access basic things around their house.
What caused this outage? And why is the White House now looking into it?
Chances are you remember it well, that strange day in 2021 when WhatsApp stopped sending messages, Instagram refused to load, and even Facebook itself went dark. For billions of people, it felt like being suddenly cut off from daily life. It wasn't just a glitch. For nearly 6 hours, the world's biggest social network and all of its apps were gone. No group chats, no photo feeds, no status updates, and the impact was massive. Businesses relying on Facebook ads lost money by the minute. Families in countries where WhatsApp is the main way to communicate had no way to reach each other. And on top of that, Facebook's stock price plunged, wiping out billions in market value in a single day. But what actually happened? Why did Facebook vanish from the internet? And what has the company done since to make sure it doesn't happen again? This is the story of the day Facebook went dark, and what it revealed about just how fragile the internet really is. October 4th began like any ordinary Monday, but within minutes, people all over the world started posting on Twitter, "Is WhatsApp down? Instagram isn't loading? Anyone else?" Soon, the reports exploded. At first, many assumed it was a hacker attack, maybe even a massive cyber strike. But the longer the outage lasted, the clearer it became. This was no ordinary glitch. The shocking truth? Facebook had essentially vanished from the global internet. When your computer tried to connect to Facebook's servers, the internet responded as if the company didn't even exist. It was like a digital blackout, a giant, unplugged switch. So what caused this chaos? It wasn't hackers. It wasn't sabotage. It was something almost worse, a mistake inside Facebook's own systems. Here's the simplified version. The internet runs on something called BGP, Border Gateway Protocol. Think of it as the Jeeps of the internet, telling data which routes to take to reach its destination. On October 4th, Facebook engineers made a routine change to their routers, the machines that control traffic between data centers. But that change went terribly wrong. In simple terms, the routers accidentally announced to the rest of the internet, "Facebook? Never heard of it." The consequences were brutal. All of Facebook's services disappeared. Websites, apps, everything. Even Facebook's internal tools collapsed. Employees couldn't access their email, their internal chat, or even open office doors because their security systems ran on Facebook's own network. One employee later said, "We were literally locked out of our own building." So yes, the biggest social network in the world managed to take itself offline. Let's pause for a second to announce today's sponsor, The Alchemist, a smart trading assistant that watches the markets, spots opportunities, and executes trades automatically. No false promises, no hype, just data, strategy, and control. Check the link in the description and use the code BLACKOUT for 10% off. Now let's get back to the collapse of Facebook. The consequences of the blackout were immediate and enormous. On the financial side, Facebook's stock price plummeted sharply, erasing roughly $6 billion in market value in a single day. Mark Zuckerberg's personal fortune took a similar hit, dropping by nearly $7 billion, making it one of the most expensive technical errors in corporate history. But the impact went far beyond billionaires and stockholders. Millions of small and medium-sized businesses depend on Facebook and Instagram for advertising and on WhatsApp to connect with customers. During the outage, these companies were completely cut off, unable to sell products, respond to inquiries, or provide support. For some, every lost hour translated into tangible revenue lost. For ordinary people, the disruption was just as significant. In many countries, WhatsApp isn't just a messaging app. It's the primary way families, colleagues, and communities stay in touch. Suddenly, those lines of communication vanished. A lot of social media users were forced to turn to alternatives like Twitter, TikTok, Signal, or even traditional SMS just to stay connected. There was also a symbolic shock. Facebook had long presented itself as the backbone of global communication, a service so essential that it seemed almost untouchable. Yet for nearly 6 hours, that giant disappeared. The blackout didn't just reveal technical vulnerabilities. It exposed how concentrated our digital world has become. A single company controlling multiple communication networks meant that its failure could ripple across the entire world in a short time. One question remains open. Who was to blame? Officially, Facebook admitted it was an internal configuration error caused by their own engineers. No hacking, no external attack. Mark Zuckerberg later posted an apology saying, "We're sorry. We know how much you rely on our services to stay connected." After the blackout, Facebook had no choice but to make changes. The company redesigned parts of its network to prevent a single change from taking down the entire system again. More safety checks were added before any new configuration was rolled out. Employees now have backup ways to access servers and data centers even if the main systems fail. In short, they learned not to lock all their keys in the same place. During the blackout, Facebook stayed almost completely silent, leaving users in the dark. Since then, the company has created clearer channels to update businesses and users faster during outages. Were these measures enough? That's still up for debate, but Facebook knew it had to act, not just for users, but to rebuild trust with investors, governments, and businesses. The Facebook blackout served as a clear warning, and there are a few key lessons we can take from it. First, the internet is fragile. Even the largest, most powerful platforms can fail unexpectedly. Second, centralization comes with real risks. When billions of people rely on just a handful of companies, the collapse of a single service can create ripple effects across the entire world. And finally, diversification is essential. Both businesses and individuals should avoid putting all their eggs in one basket, whether it's for communication, marketing, or income. October 4th, 2021 will be remembered as the day the world realized how fragile the digital world really is. It revealed how much trust we've placed in just a few platforms, and it showed that even giants like Facebook, now Meta, are far from invincible. The blackout wasn't just a technical mistake, it was a wake-up call, a reminder that in a world built on connections, we might need to rethink who we trust to keep those connections alive. Thanks for watching this deep dive into the day Facebook went dark. If you found this interesting, give it a like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay curious.